Good afternoon, my dear students. Today's class is flow through pipes. So, if there is a flow inside a pipe, how that flow is behaving, that we'll study in the today's class. Generally, we know pipe is a closed conduit which is used to convey the fluid from one place to another place or a confined passage. Example, duct, pipe, many are there. You take AC, that is duct. Example, some fluid is flowing inside the pipe. So I wish to know the fluid behavior type. So either laminar, or turbulent, or transition, that I wish to know. For that, we have a method called Reynolds number. So our Reynolds experiment, basically this is an experiment. So based on that experiment, we generally calculate the type or observe the type of flow. We know already the Reynolds number is defined as it's a ratio of inertia force in the system to the viscous force in that particular fluid. So if you observe what is inertia force, mass into acceleration, by what is viscous force, already we know from Newton law of viscosity, tau is equals to mu into du by dy. This also written as tau is equals to mu into u by y. From this I can write mu is equals to, no need not to write this actually, because I need viscous force, inertia force to viscous force. So I can directly write viscous force as stress into area. But why I wrote these all is will be useful while writing tau. That's why I wrote this, which already known. So what is mass? Rho. Area acceleration due to gravity is L square V square by tau into. Now, how can we write this? Tau can be written as mu into du by dy. So we can write here only. It is mu into u by y. Okay. Into area is y square. So it is L square. And this also I'm writing as L because L length plate. That's it. So if you solve this, what are the terms going to cancel? L square. Then what are the remaining terms we have? Can check once. U is velocity. One time of velocity is gone. Then you will get rho LV by mu. Now with this, if we extend further, the Reynolds number is written as rho LV by mu. Also the Reynolds number written as, sorry, here L square. So it is rho VD by mu also we can write in case of diameters. Example, I have a pipe of D diameter, then I can write Reynolds number as rho VD by mu. So if you observe the terms inside the Reynolds number, that is rho is density, V is velocity of the fluid, D diameter of the fluid, and mu dynamic viscosity. If your Reynolds number in the range of 2000 below, then we call it as a laminar flow. It is more than 2000 to 2800, then we call it as transition flow. It is more than 2800, we call it as a turbulent flow. Now coming to the next topic are losses, about losses in the pipe. There are two types of losses majorly we observe inside a pipe. One is major loss, one more is minor loss. Coming to the major loss is due to friction, and minor loss is due to bends, and many reasons are there for minor loss. Most generally for minor loss we will take bends as a major phenomena. Sometimes people will take fittings, cross sections, these all matters. So with the help of that, we'll get very negligible small amount of losses that we call as minor losses. And coming to the major losses, that is frictional losses. About that we'll study today's class. For that we have equation called Darcy-Weisbach equation. Darcy-Weisbach equation. So that equation will derive today's class. So for that, I have a pipe. If you observe this pipe, in this pipe some fluid is flowing from here to here. Let you have observed some section. In this section, if you observe, the frictional force is going backward, otherwise a small portion. Frictional force acting reverse, and the P1 force is acting here. P2 pressure force is acting here. So from the continuity equation, I can write Q is equals to A1 V1, which is also written as A2 V2, which is also written as AV, because not AV. Let me conclude. Why? Because if you observe, to Darcy-Weisbach equation, I am taking four assumptions. The first assumption is fluid is steady in nature. The cross section of this particular pipe is same throughout, and the next assumption is the fluid is irrotational. So what are the equations we have considered for Bernoulli's theorem? Nearly same equations I have considered here also, and that is one-dimensional flow, steady, and velocity is uniform, and one more is your diameter is constant. That are the four assumptions I have considered. So if diameter is not a constant, you cannot use Darcy-Weisbach equation. For that, Coriolis are there, that you have to use. So if you observe here, when areas are constant, velocity is also constant. That we know. So from this I can write A1A is equals to A2, which is equals to A, as well as V1 is equals to V2, which is equals to V. So let's take this the first instant and second instant, try to apply the Bernoulli's theorem at 1 and 2 instants. Then if you observe, Bernoulli's theorem at 1 instant and second instant, if I write P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. This is the general Bernoulli's theorem, what we know. But I have considered losses, that's why I'm writing head loss due to friction, HF. So now my intention is to calculate HF. If you observe, the velocity is same, I can remove, and Z1, Z2 is same because on the same line. Then I can write HF, head loss due to friction, as P1 by rho g minus P2 by rho g. This already we have studied in Bernoulli's theorem. You might be thinking why I am teaching this again, but for this particular equation I used these equations again. So I can write P1 minus P2 is equals to rho GH. Now if you go further, up to here you already studied in different phenomena, like in Bernoulli's theorem, to calculate H is equals to X into SF minus, that formula is done. There you have studied this already. But we can use impulse momentum equation as well as this analysis to solve the Darcy-Weisbach equation. That is, for that I am using this impulse momentum equation. So if you observe impulse momentum equation, what impulse momentum equation states? Sum of the forces must be equals to ma. So if you observe in your pipe, what are the forces acting? This P1A1 force is acting, and this side P2A2 force is acting, and some frictional force also acting here. So I can write sum of the forces as P1A1 minus P2A2, because this direction is positive, this direction negative, minus frictional force F is equals to mass into acceleration, which is 0. So I can write here P1 minus P2 into A, because areas are same, is equals to F. Let's consider this as the first equation. Now this force I can write as P1 minus P2 into A, which is equals to frictional force F1 into area, that is pi dl into V square. So you can consider this as first equation. Now I know HF is equal to, rather than that, what I'll do, I'll go up and I'll show that particular old equation what we got. that is P1 minus P2 into, let's consider this also some second equation. That's the first equation and second equation. So if you extend this equation, that is P1 minus P2 into area is equals to pi by 4 into d square, which comes out to be frictional force F1 into pi dl into V square. Now from that, if you write HF is equals to, we are getting a value of 4Fn by rho g into LV square by GD. Now from where we are getting this? Because P1 minus P2, you can write here in another step, can be written as rho g HF into pi by 4 into d square, which is equals to F1 into pi dl into V square. From this I got HF. Now if you go further, this HF can be written as 4F1 by rho into now LV square. So rather than this, let me write direct step here. 8F1 by rho into LV square by 2GD. So 2 to cancel, same thing we'll get here. So GGD double time I wrote. Okay, that's a confusion here. So if we extend this also can be written as FLV square by 2GD, since the F is equals to 2F1 by rho. This is a constant, Darcy constant. So the head loss due to friction can be written as FLV square by 2GD. This is the final formula what we're going to get. This is also written as 4F1 by rho g into LV square by D, or 4FLV square by 2 rho GD. In such a way also you can write. Both are same HF. Here F1 is there and here F is there. F is frictional factor. So with this, if you extend further, that frictional factor can be written as 64 by RE. RE is the Reynolds number for laminar flow, and the frictional factor can be written as 0.316 by RE power 1 by 4. It is in case of turbulent flow. Actually, not exactly turbulent flow. If your flow is, your Reynolds number is 4002, 1 into 10 to the power of 5, that is typical Reynolds number, then we use this formula. With this, this particular topic I am closing.